Hey everybody, it's Nickolyn, and today I'm going to show you my March thrift haul. March is my birthday month, and I think I made out like a bandit, so I'm going to be moving very quickly through this large pile that's surrounding me that you cannot see of all of my thrift store finds, and I've kind of put them into departments, if you will, or categories, so I will start with the clothing and then we'll move on from there. First in clothing is this pink, which is of course is my signature color. This pink Lauren Conrad kind of flowy dress, and it has some navy blue accents. Then I got this navy blue kind of boxy sweater. It's nice and soft, and I remember this was only $1. Next I got some rompers. Now this is a romper dress, but it's kind of like a paisley pattern, and it's very kind of chiffon and flowy. And then this t-shirt here, I paid a little bit more than I wanted to, but I liked it because it was soft and I can wear it to teach in, and it kind of hangs and flows very nicely, and it has a nice little message on it. These shorts, which I paid more than I normally would for shorts because I'm not really a shorts kind of person anyway, but I like these because they had the detailing of the what is this, lace on it, and it kind of adds a little more length also. I also got this romper, which is kind of looks very 90s style. It's a spaghetti strap, and it is a romper pants set. Let me go into the shoes. I got some crazy shoes. Now these aren't really crazy, but I had to get these because they have a red sole on them. Now these are not Christian Louboutins, and I was Googling on my phone what other designers had these red soles, but I couldn't come up with very much. But these are like a suede. They're not really a blue, they're not really an aqua. I kind of don't know what color they are. I guess they're a cross. And so if anybody out there can tell me what other designer that this might be, there's no really indicators of anything on there. It does say 38, so I know that it's not a US designer. But if anybody can tell me who else has red soles on their shoes as a signature, please comment down below because I would love to know. And then I did get these crazy shoes. Okay, so saw these crazy shoes and thought, I wonder if I can walk in those. And then when they were actually, like, you can't run a marathon in these, which I don't know that you would really ever want to choose to run a marathon in any kind of high heel, but I just had to get these because they were so kind of out there and out of the box, and I thought to myself, there's going to be one day in life where I'm going to need these crazy shoes, and these are crazy shoes, folks. So these are, I don't know, some sort of heelless platform shoe, and then they have this rhinestone detailing on it. These are also kind of a velvety suede kind of feeling shoe, and of course they're in my favorite color, pink, and they have a Mary Jane kind of style strap on them. And so then I was gonna get those, and then from afar I saw these ones also and figured that they were probably donated by the same person, so they would be the same size, and they were. So I got these also. These don't have any kind of detailing back here, they're just kind of more suede, more of that velvet, but these are a pretty blue color. Last, I got this, which is probably from the 90s. It is a kind of chunky acrylic style ring. It's rainbow, and it fits on one of these fingers here, and it's very, very 90s, and I got that I think for 99 cents. Okay, as I said, I am moving fast, I'm talking fast, I'm showing fast, and I'm moving right along. These are kind of my Mod Podge category here, and I got this really cute Avon Secretaire decanter, and these are one of those vintage Avon bath oils. They were all the rage back in the day, and you could decorate your bathroom with them. I like this one because obviously it was pink, and it would go very nicely with my pink and aqua bathroom. This was only $1. Next, I found this because it is pink, but this is something that's very useful sometimes for me, because we all know that I have a hard time actually doing my hair. But this is a curling wand, and it's a little bit wider than the one I have, so I can use this one along with my other one, and hopefully my curls will stay. I don't know how much this was. They just threw it into the mix with a whole bunch of stuff. Next up, something that I had been needing and I had been actually kind of had in the back of my mind as something that I needed, and the lady was like, what is this? But this is a little steamer, and I needed one as a little travel steamer or something that I could kind of take along, because I was trying to cart the iron different places in the house to steam things, and so this is going to come in really handy. This was only $3.99. Last in my kind of little hodgepodge section is this definitely handmade sleeve for this mirror, and in case you didn't know, on the back it says a mirror, and sure enough, inside there's a mirror. Okay, so moving right along, I'm going to go into decor items. This little fellow here is a cute little fawn, and I got him, I think he was like $1.99, $3. I went to a junk festival, junk fair, and I got this for $1. It's a kind of tin, it looks like it was the top to a Mickey Mouse game. I want to do some research on it, but kind of liked just the patina of it and how it looked old. Also at that junk festival, I got this little oil painting or acrylic painting for $1. I also got this sparkly crown, which looks very shabby chic, and you'll notice that you'll start to see this as a prop in something new that's coming up for nickel and dime. Next, I'm going to move on to books and media. This was also purchased at that junk festival, and this is a, it's called McLaughlin Brothers The Pretty Village, an easy to assemble antique toy town in full color, and this basically has cutouts in it of all kinds of little towns and little houses and little things like that. So I thought maybe this would be cute at Christmas time to kind of display sort of like my Putz houses. And in other books, I got this, The World of Dick and Jane, and this is kind of well loved, but I thought that it would be cute if I would use the images inside. Since it's so well loved, I wouldn't feel bad about going in and cutting out the images or photocopying them to like Mod Podge them on things or anything like that. This is not vintage, but it is a Lisa Frank, so I couldn't pass it up. Hashtag I love the 90s. This is a Lisa Frank giant and coloring and activity book. A few of the pages are colored in here, I do believe. Maybe not, maybe I'm lying, but there's some color on the back where somebody decided to put a bunch of spectrum of colors. This vintage kind of cookbook for kids sort of thing, and this is a easy to make, good to eat book, and again it has all these kinds of old yellowed pages inside with all kinds of very simple recipes for kids to follow. Then I also got 2 DVDs. One is Garfield, the Holiday Celebrations. Big Top Pee-wee, which I remember my parents taking me to see at the drive-in theater when I was a kid. Okay, next I'm going to move along to the kitchen items. I know this wouldn't be kind of considered a traditional kitchen item, but I found one of these. Well, I found this one first if we're getting technical, and this is one of those IKEA frames. I put this into the kitchen entertaining kind of category because these are nice if you were ever entertaining and you can kind of either put a menu or display any kind of little quotes or what the item is, or you know what people are eating or anything like that. Found one of these for 99 cents, and then I went back a few days later and I found another one for 99 cents. So now I have a set of 2. So I was going through the glassware. Normally I don't go through the glassware, but I went through the glassware for a project, and I found this. This is a vintage Batman McDonald's mug. This says on the bottom it's from 1995. Then I found this kind of 50s style creamer. I just like the kind of atomic-ish pattern on the side. It's gold and it's pretty standard. I don't know how much that was. I found these items mainly to maybe make a craft out of them. They look cute as if you make little baskets with them, or you can turn them this way and put little dioramas inside of them, or even just to hold little like paper clips and trinkets like that. So these were handy. And then I found this pink. So initially the reason why I was drawn to this, obviously because it was pink. And then I flipped it over, and on the bottom it says it's from the Ballerina company. So I looked this up and it's actually vintage. It says universal oven proof, union made in the USA. So when it said union made, I knew it was vintage. Did a little bit of research on it and found that this is a vintage stamp. There you can see the ballerina, which is very fitting for me, obviously, because I teach dance and ballet is my favorite form of dance. Also in kind of glassware, I saw this thing at the Goodwill. It was hanging out for weeks. Nobody wanted it. It was only 69 cents. And although I don't drink, I just liked that this looked very vintage. It looked like it should be on a 50s bar cart. So I got it for a display item. It is a glass that tells you all of the recipes for all of these kind of drinks. I've been having kind of some good luck in the plastic section of the Goodwill. Usually it's just honestly junk in there, but I came across this vintage Burger King travel mug. This is so funny that I guess this used to be kind of the travel mug. And anyway, I don't think it's ever been used because the instructions are still on the inside. And I don't know. I kind of remember seeing these around when I was a kid. So I kind of got it just because it was a novelty item. And then also, I remember these as a kid being at other people's houses. We didn't have these, but I do remember these. These are the vintage Bell Cup plastic Tupperware drinking cups. So anyway, they were a complete set of these, and I got these just as a memory. Obviously, you can drink out of them. They're in really good shape. They haven't been beaten up by the dishwasher or anything like that, so I probably will keep these. And then I couldn't believe my luck when down here in Florida, I found a Pittsburgh mug. This is from Eaton Park, and I like this because it first of all has the Eaton Park cookie on there, and then it says I take mine black and gold. So very cute. This is a little beaten up, but I liked it because it was my colors of my kitchen. I thought I'll just use it for maybe like a fruit bowl or something like that. And then my sister gave me an idea that I could put actually plants in here. And then I thought, how cute would it be if there was some succulents in here? This is originally a Martha Stewart item. It has a crack on the inside. It has some staining and things like that. So I really wouldn't want to use it for food items or anything that can get the bacteria in the cracks or anything like that. But I could put some stones in it or nestle the pot in there for the succulents or something like that, or even some herbs and place them around, and that would be very cute. Also at that Junk Fest, I found this. I guess this is kind of a kitchen. I don't know. I mean, in my crazy mind, I think of this as a kitchen item because this is an old flour sack, I believe, and I just imagine it as a kitchen item because back in the day they used to take these and cut them apart and use them as dish towels. I'm not going to do this with this one. This is too kind of pretty and cool to kind of do anything with. It's very faded. I can't really read on there exactly what it had to say, but I like the faded look of it. I found these baskets, these 2 cornucopia baskets. Every year I bring out my grandma's cornucopia basket and I put some sort of display in them. It's usually like a spinach artichoke dip down here, and then I have the bread kind of cascading out or the crackers cascading out. And I always need more space in it because it kind of like doesn't all fit very good. And so I found this one and I thought, how cute is that? Because it actually kind of comes out and would be able to display all my little goodies that you dip into your dip. And then I found this one, so I couldn't pass this one up also. And now let's move on to like the kitchen appliance items. I found this snow cone maker. It obviously, first of all, looks vintage. And secondly, it actually works as a snow cone maker. Now, obviously this isn't going to be a staple on my kitchen top, but I also have a cotton candy maker. So I think this is cute if I ever want to entertain someday and do, you know, a carnival theme or anything like that, that I could also put this this snow cone maker out. And then, although this is not as old as I would hope it to be, I hope that someday I find kind of a chrome or a, you know, shiny looking one of these. This is a milkshake or a drink mixer or something like that. This is from the 80s though, because I looked it up, and it's a drink mixer, and it was only $2. I got it at the thrift store that benefits the veterans, so I of course did not feel bad about getting it, and I just thought it was cute to make milkshakes and to kind of go along with the whole entertaining thing. I can put that out and have some really cute display items that also work to entertain my guests. And then this last thing, which is very heavy, is vintage. And technically, I think that this is kind of like brand new because the tag is still on it. And back in the day, this was $29.95, which was probably a lot for what this is. So this is a very good kitchen appliance. And what this is a waffle maker. So it's a waffle maker on one side, and then what happens is that you can actually flip, oh goodness, you can actually flip these plates over and it becomes a griddle, and I'll show you, it can lay flat and it also becomes a griddle. So this is very heavy. Most people, you know, get rid of this kind of stuff and try to get new stuff. But I am doing the actual opposite. I am kind of getting rid of all of my newer things, and I think I'm reverting back to vintage things. I do keep newer appliances though, just to be safe in case something would happen with these old appliances for a little while until I make sure that they do work. But most of the time, older is better. So I'm excited to plug this in and hopefully not burn the house down. Okay, I am rounding out my thrift haul. I've saved the best for last, what I think is the best for last, because I rarely ever find these things in thrift stores down here. Rarely ever find actual vintage toys. So let me dive into our toy section. This is not vintage, but it is a game called Reminiscing, and I thought it would be cute to kind of just check this game out and see. It is a game for, it says the game for people over 30. It says on here, remembering the 1950s through the 2000s. So it kind of covers basically almost every decade that I like to collect. So I was very interested to see what this game was all about. Also in kind of vintage style games that aren't vintage, this is a 90s Trivial Pursuit, and we all know that one of the decades that I love is the 90s. And then these toys I got at the veteran thrift store. They were in 2 separate places in the store. These are kind of those tin noise makers. I have a few like this already, so I can add these to my collection. I like to put these out if I'm like entertaining for a birthday party or something as a little vignette. It's cute. It adds a little bit of nostalgia to the party. I also found this. He's a battery operated, one of those barking dog toys, and the battery compartment is so corroded and so bad that I wouldn't even try to get in there and clean it out to try to put batteries in it. But I just liked him because he was cute and he had that kind of 80s, 90s kind of feel to him, and his tail's wagging, and if I open his mouth, he squeaks. I'm surprised my doggy's not coming running. Then somebody at the Goodwill must have donated, or somebody donated to the Goodwill, a lot of their vintage toys, because I went in the one day, and I'll show you this one first because this one is not vintage. but I got it to put it on my shelf. This is a light bright. This is a newer light bright. Here's the stuff that goes with it. It was at a thrift store not too long ago, and I heard somebody who I guess had been carrying around in their cart ask somebody, hey, is this one of the old, like the vintage light brights? And the employee said, yeah, that's one of the vintage ones. And she's like, I was looking at them on Etsy and they're so expensive. And she was like, you know, I wanted to get one of the nostalgic ones for my kid, you know, and she had her daughter with her, and I was kind of like, darn, oh, if I was only here for a little bit earlier and I would have gone to that section and I would have found it, but then I didn't feel bad because she was buying it for her daughter. So I was kind of like, darn. But then I went to the Goodwill and I found, folks, a vintage light bright. How about that? I have not opened this up yet, so I do hope that there is indeed a light bright in here. If not, all my hopes and dreams will be dashed. However, I never actually had a light bright when I was a kid, so I'm now buying all the toys, I guess, that I wanted when I was a kid, or the nostalgic ones that bring back my memories of being a kid. And then the same day that I got that, I actually saw, as I was checking out, and she was kind of bringing everything up and wrapping it and everything, I saw this Magic 8 Ball sticking out from one of the shelves. So I actually ran and grabbed this and got this also. And I couldn't believe my luck of getting two actually vintage toys in one trip to the Goodwill. Then I went back a few days later or a week later, and I found this vintage Simon. Do I have it right? Yes, I have it right side up. I found this vintage Simon. Now sadly, I put batteries in it, and very faintly I can hear something happening in there. I can hear the beeps, but I can't see any lights lighting up or anything like that. But I just like this for displaying it. It is from the 1970s, 1978 to be exact. This one I don't remember when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I had the 90s style one. It was black. It was smaller. I think it was like a handheld version. So this one I do not remember having, but I am super excited to get this one. And that concludes my thrift haul for the most part. I got some things that I didn't think were as exciting to show you guys. But yes, I got all of these vintage things and I was really excited, vintage nostalgia, and I think that it all happened because it was a gift for my birthday month. So I know I was late getting this thrift haul out to you, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you watch my other thrift hauls on my channel. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit that like button down below. Leave me a comment. Let me know what your most favorite thrift find of mine was. And follow me on Instagram, on Facebook, and on my website, nickolanddime.com. And I hope to see you guys soon. Bye!